Hello YouTubers, welcome to another weekly video, and I got a ton of stuff to show you today. It's been a good week, to say the least. So I want to show you a lot of it close up, even though I'm not going to crack a lot of it, unfortunately. But so I'm just going to give you try to give you a super quick overview, and then we'll flip the camera around and I'll show you pretty much the majority of it close up. I will crack a few things. So anyway, first off, just get this out. I got a box in the mail yesterday from Snake's Diecast. He purchased one of my customs. He purchased this Silverado from me, and also sent me some stuff, and he wants me to put lights in this old school van for him, and in return he's sending me an ultra red for that as well. So pretty sweet. I'm gonna get that done. Hopefully by next week I should be able to do that. He also sent me a couple of extras. Sent me these 3 vehicles, Mr. Machine, that cool matchbox with a canoe on the top, pretty sweet, and then that Lincoln Continental. So pretty cool, thank you. And then he sent me 2 cars that he wheel swapped. This Datsun, and he painted a little detail on the back too, and this BMW. He does really good wheel swaps, man. These things roll like a dream. And the way he makes the axles are with those thin brass tubes, and then he I guess crimps them or whatever on the outside. And that works really good for making axles. I think I might try that method, because I use the brass tubes where you got to stick the little axle bit in the end and glue it, and it's awful. So, and I suck at it. So I don't want to do that one anymore. All right, so I did make a purchase from Wheel Collectors, because they posted up Boulevard cars, but I just got them for wheels, basically, and that was it. These Fieros were super cheap, and I literally just picked them up for the wheels. So I got 5 of them, and those will be going on some future customs. I also picked up this, because this is a reasonable price. I already have one of these, so I'll crack this in the second half of the video. We'll take a close look at it. But I do really dig this casting, this Ford GT, and we'll take a close look at that. Let's see here. My Walmart got this, what is it, Vintage Racing Circuit Series. These are the only 2 I picked up. It was the Buick Grand National and the 69 Pontiac GTO. There is another Pontiac. There's a Firebird in there, but that casting, I think, is just kind of cartoony looking and not very cool. So I didn't pick that one up, and I don't really dig that Firebird casting. It's the one that I don't really care for. Let's see here. Toys R Us. I had an excellent morning at Toys R Us on Friday. They had the whole V-Dub series, the new one. So I picked those up, and we'll take a brief look at them now, and maybe a close look at all of them. A quick close look at all of them in the second half here. So I picked those up. That 6-car series, but I picked up this Camaro. That's pretty sweet, from Muscle Cars USA 2017 Release 1 Set C. And hanging right on the front peg was that guy, White Lightning. This is really cool to find one of these. We'll talk about how rare it actually is in the second half, and I'll give you a close look. And then I also found an Ultra Red, which this thing is a super score for me. This is just one of the coolest looking Ultra Reds. We'll take a closer look and talk about how rare it is in the second half of the video. But really neat Ultra Red body, Ultra Red base, Ultra Red painted wheels. So pretty cool. I dig that. Alright, so we got those. I made an eBay purchase. Another Ultra Red. Pretty sweet. Got this one for a steal. I think I got it for like 14 bucks shipped, and that's pretty cheap. My Walmart, I got some Auto World. They got this was Release 1 Set D, so I only picked up 2 cars from it because I already have the set. But I picked up these 2 cars. This one I'm gonna crack. This one will be an extra. I don't know exactly what I'll do with it. Maybe freezins. Maybe it'll end up in your box. But we'll crack one of these in the second half of the video. Let's see here. My buddy Todd, Crazy Todd, strikes again. I think the rest of this stuff is actually from him. So Crazy Todd ordered a case of the new Auto World 2017 Release 2 and by accident ended up with 2 cases of the same set. So he sold me one of them. And just real quick, we'll just show them all here, and I'm going to show them close up in the second half. But there's your first 3, and here is your second 3. These are awesome, and I just ordered set B. Last night I ordered 2 cases of it, so I could hook him up with a case of it, so we could save on some shipping. We'll have to see if one of us hits an ultra red. That'll be pretty sweet. So we'll unbox both of them on video when I get them. Should be this week sometime. He also went hunting around at stores and he picked up a couple of things for me. So I got this GTR. I'm going to crack this one. The wheels look weird on it, and I want to see if there's a issue with it or not. So I'm going to crack it and see if I can fix it. So there's that. This black with flames. Nissan Z, 350Z. That's pretty cool. I'll probably try to get all the colors of this. Maybe just get one of them, I don't know. And then this sweet GTO, which the only one I'm missing from this is the red one from Release A. So this is 2017 Classic Gold Release 1, Set D, which is gold. There's also a white one and a blue one that I have. And then the red one would be Set A, and that's the only one I'm missing, and then I'll have all of them. So there's that. And then you got me one each of these, which I'll crack both of these in the second half. So love my vans and my VW buses. And then he hooked me up with this. This he got in a Facebook live sale, and I'm going to crack this GMC motorhome as well. So that is just a quick overview of everything. Let's flip the camera around and take a close look at some stuff. All right, so real quick first, let's take a look at this GTR. This is the one I just cracked from the Muscle series of Greenlight. It in blue. It looks pretty nice. I thought the wheels were all screwed up the way it was packaged, but I think it was just pushing on it weird, and now they look fine once I took it out. Maybe they look a little bit small, and I do get what Travis, Heavy Metal 164, is saying about the wheels being too set into the fender. So, yeah, I can see that, especially on this one. It doesn't look as bad on the Black Bandit. I think that looks much better the way the stance is on this one. If you can see that. It's kind of hard to see because it's all black. But, yeah. So, pretty cool. This is a kind of a nice casting. And here's just a Motor World one with a plastic base. The rest of these are all metal. I think the Motor World one is actually really nice, though. So, it's got pretty much the same amount of detail. It just has a plastic base instead. So, there's the one for the new Muscle. And, it's pretty cool. So, add that to that little collection of cars that I've got. Real quick here, let's crack some Hot Wheels. Dodge van. I got another one of these coming from Angel, AR Hotbox, but I can't wait to get one loose, so we're going to go ahead and crack it. Pretty sweet. You know, I love my vans. This one's got some front detail, got a little rear detail, and you got that Tampa work on there. I think it looks pretty cool. I dig it. I dig the wheels on it. I think it looks nice. So there's that, and then here's the Wasp, the T1 panel bus. Crack that open, and there's that guy. I got to get one of all these that they put out. I just dig the casting so much, and it goes good with my VW collection, so really, really sweet. Thank you very much. And then, yeah, this is from Todd, too. He picked this up for me, this GMC motorhome. Go ahead and crack that. And there is that GMC motorhome. This is pretty sweet. This is from the Hot Wheels Classic series. I don't know how many different colors of this there were. Probably a bunch, because I think there's a bunch of all the castings that were in that series. But I think this is the only one I have. And now that I'm looking over there, yeah, it is the only one I have. So if there's others out there, I got to get them. Here is GT Boulevard series. TLM. Love the wheels on this one. Love the yellow and black. Just looks great. No detail. Well, it's got some detail on the front. Nothing on the back, but very nice to have another metal on metal one of these loose. It's a very substantial casting. This thing is heavy. So I really dig it. So there's that. And then we got these two Racing Circuit. Here's your GTO. Nice basic casting. I don't know if these things are really worth $2. I mean, the tamper work on them is pretty decent, but as far as being, there really isn't much to differentiate them from a basic Hot Wheel. They still don't have any front detail, rear detail. They got the same, well, three-sided tampos, multicolored, but I don't know. It's okay. This series just really did not excite me at all. But I thought I'd get these two at least. Here's your Buick Grand National. This one used to have an opening hood, this casting. I don't know when they did away with it exactly, but this one does not have it. It's an alright casting, but again, just, you know, a basic. Not much to differentiate it from a mainline. So the card art's kind of cool too if you're into that sort of thing. But so there's that. Here's this sweet Camaro. I'm not going to open this guy. I only got one of them, and I'm just going to keep it carded. I like this Johnny Lightning card art for this Muscle series. I think it's pretty awesome. So this is the version C. These are limited to 1256. Very nice metallic blue. Dig that. Here is that GTO in gold. Pretty sweet. Got the light bar on top. Beat the heat. Still needed in that red color. These are limited to 1256 as well. This is version D for Classic Gold Race 1. I think the only place you can really find this Classic Gold new series, I've only really seen it at Super Target, which I don't have one that's right in my neck of the woods, so I got to drive a bit to get to one. Black with Flames. Here's the Street Freaks. This is the newest and latest Street Freaks series. It's limited to 1256. This is version A. I'm sure they're going to come out with a version C and D of these, and I wonder how limited they're going to be if they're already doing the A, because usually the A and B releases are less limited than the C and D, and there already is only 1256 of these, and that's usually what you see in C and D releases, so it'll be interesting to see what they do for the C and D releases of these and how limited they will be. So, pretty neat. Alright, so let's take a look at some Ultra Reds. And here's this Dodge Challenger. Now this is from 2017 release 1. It is version A. It's on the version A card. So it would be the same casting for version A and version B. So how limited is it? So Ultra Reds, I believe, and I could be wrong, they are 3% of the production line. At least that's what they used to be before they started doing all these limited numbers. I believe it is still the same. It is unclear if Ultra Raws still exist. I haven't seen any of those. Those used to be 1 of 10. And I don't know if they're putting those out for these new releases at all. But anyway, so 1672 is what the casting is limited to. So that means 3%. There's roughly 50 of these on this card, which means there's roughly 100 of this casting. So that's how limited this Ultra Red is. So now, of course, that's going to vary, because now when we get to this one, which is 2017 Release 1 version C of this Dodge Polara Max Wedge, which this is just a sweet looking Ultra Red, by the way. Just an amazing looking thing. My heart flipped in my chest when I saw this thing. But anyway, this is limited to 1256, the regular casting on this card. So roughly there's about 37 or 38 of these on this card, and then obviously 37 or 38 on the other card. So roughly only 75 of these exist, this casting. So, you know, under 40 on each card. So that's 3%. Now, the White Lightnings. White Lightnings are 2% of the production line. Okay, so, and this is version C. So it's limited to 1256, the standard casting, and there is some weird like little grease smudge on this thing. But this is actually already sold to an Instagrammer, and so I'm not keeping it in my collection. But I will use the money to buy more Auto World, likely. But anyway, this White Lightning is 2% of the production line, so 2% of 1256 is roughly 25. Multiply that by 2. And there's roughly 50 of these castings. So there's roughly 50 of the casting, 25 on this card, and then 25 on the version D card. And that is all there is of this, so about 50. So it's really interesting that they're really limiting these. But, you know, if you think about it and you just want a white lightning of this casting, you don't care what version it is, there's going to be roughly 50 of these on this card. And then for the A and B releases, which I believe the only variation is the interior. I think the interior is blue on the other one. And so if you're not a completionist and you're just trying to get a white lightning of this particular casting because you like the Impala or whatever, in total, there's probably going to be roughly either 70, maybe about 75 of the other variations. So there's really about 125 of the actual casting. But these are still going for kind of big money on eBay right now. I don't know if it's going to be the max of what their value will be, but they do go for quite a bit. They don't come up very often. All right, so moving on here, let's take a quick look at this Firebird because I'm going to crack it. I needed this one loose. I still need the version B of this release loose, which is the blue one with the white stripes on the hood. But this is a very nice looking car. It's a Pontiac Firebird. You all know I dig that, and it's Auto World, and you guys know I love that. So very nice to add this one loose to the collection. So I have both Ultra Reds of this, but I don't have the C&D Ultra Red loose, though, unfortunately. So that one's the 1256er, so there's only 75 of those out there. But pretty cool, pretty sweet. Let's see here. And then let's take a look at these cars real quick. Not in any particular order. So this is Release A, 2017, Release 2, Version A. The latest and greatest Auto World. These are now available on AutoWorldStore.com. and various other hobby online retailers. So this is limited to 1256. Here is your 1967 Chevy Chevelle in black. Like I said, in a future video, hopefully later on this week, I will be doing unboxings of 2 cases of the version B. So be excited to see if one of us pulls an Ultra out of that. One case will be for Todd, one case will be for me, and I'm going to be really jealous if his case has an Ultra Red in it. So we'll mark the cases beforehand, and I'll open them up on video. It'll be fun. So until then, we got these beautiful Gulf livery Ford GT. One thing I don't know how I feel about, I was looking at T-Hunted today, and there will be some MJ exclusive Auto World cars that are coming out. And I know one of them is just a slight variation of this. It's going to be the Gulf, and then it does not have the 7 in the circle. There's no number here. And there's also going to be a black version of this with the number in it, which I believe the one that's going to be released in the mainline, or whatever, the standard Auto World, is going to be that same coloration. So it's just going to be like a slight variation. They're just going to do that again and make 2 of them hobby exclusive. I don't know if I really like them doing that. The other 2 hobby exclusive ones that are coming out, though, are looking pretty cool. One of them's got Shell graphics on it. It's a Mustang, and another one has Texaco graphics on it. So that's going to be kind of cool and different from Auto World that we haven't really seen much of. So that's going to be kind of neat. This Ford GT is also one of the few casting that actually has lens detail in the headlights. So it's pretty cool. This one is really, really nice. So take a look at that. We got this Ford Mustang is beautiful too. Now all these castings have been released before in various series. None of them are new tools. But honestly, that is fine with me because this is some of the nicest paint that they've come out in for these castings. Just really cool colors they picked. So this is the 67 Ford Mustang GT. And this very nice looking metallic blue teal kind of color. Looks really nice. Sticking with Mustangs here. Here's a newer casting. They don't have many of these. This is the 2017 Ford Mustang GT. Looks very, very nice. This casting was released once before, I think as a 2016 Ford Mustang. I don't know what kind of tweaking they did to it to make it updated to the 2017, or maybe they were just kind of the same car. But it does look pretty nice. Dig it. Here it is in silver. Let's see here. So we did those 4, and then we got, this one's a really cool one. 1967 Cadillac Eldorado, and it's in kind of a beige. It's not quite a stark white. Call it soft white, maybe. More of a beige. Very cool casting. super long, true 1/64 scale, so this thing is a battleship. Very, very cool. Totally dig it. Can't wait to get the alternate colors of it. I think it's black in the other release. And then here's a nice looking blue color again in the Chevy Kingswood Estate. Very cool casting. A lot of people dig this one. It's a wagon. You know, I know that Auto World only does, you know, whatever, American cars, but there is, you know, something for everybody in this release, really. You got that Cadillac if you like long Cadillacs. You got the wagon if you dig wagons. You got Mustangs, I guess, if you dig Mustangs. That newer one. And then, really cool, though. And then that Ford GT is just spectacular. So, just really cool. So, there's that release. Go get it if you want it. It's a pretty sweet one. And then, finally, we're just going to go through this release really quick. This is the V-Dub Series 4. This is the 4th series of these V-Dub cars. And this is a newer casting. Everybody's got to do the double cab pickup now, thanks to M2. So there's that. Looks really cool. Dig the shell graphics on it. Looks awesome. This is probably a standout release for the V-Dub series. This is probably one of the more interesting of the releases. The first one that came out was very plain looking. They were all plain colors and stuff like this. This one's got a lot of bright colors, a lot of, I don't know, just interesting looking buses that will look good in the collection. I don't have any of these really cracked at all, which is a shame. I should probably just crack all of this series. Here's the Gulf Oil Volkswagen Beetle, which is the one that I was really excited to see. And it is pretty sweet. Definitely dig it. So yeah, they really went all out on the graphics on these ones. And I'm glad they did. Here's your basic. This is a basic one, but it just looks really nice. Double cab. One thing, if you want to collect Beetles and buses and you want to collect Greenlight, man, there is just a lot to buy. I mean, there's so they really talk about re-releasing castings and stuff and releasing them different colorways. I don't even know how many variations of the different Volkswagen buses and stuff there are, but my guess is over 100. There's just a lot. So, and I do have a ton of them. This one's pretty sweet. You get the surfboard, it comes separate there. Nice seafoam color, seafoam green. So, really neat. So, pretty cool. I didn't score a green machine in that, but I found them all on the pegs, which was really, really nice just to find them there. So, should have a bunch of cool stuff coming this week, hopefully, already. And so, like I said, I got those 2 cases of Auto World, which I'll do a separate video for those 2 cases. And then hopefully I pull a red. I haven't gotten lucky ordering cases online and never pulling an Ultra Red. So, and actually, I don't think I've ever pulled an Ultra Red out of a case. I don't think I've ever cut one open and actually grabbed an Ultra Red out of it. I've only ever found them on pegs, which is interesting because I've opened quite a few cases of them. And it just seems like my luck is only they got to touch the pegs first before they can get to me. Of course, unless you buy them off eBay, which this one I got for a steal. So, that's going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you very, very much for watching, and you guys have an excellent week. Hope you find a lot of cool stuff, and we'll see you again next week.